How's the residential market looking when it comes to homes in Bundaberg in 2025? So far, it has been red hot. Honestly, the market is on fire, and I'm not just saying that. As of mid-2025, buyer demand is sky high while listings are super tight, which means houses are often getting snapped up as soon as they hit the market. In fact, as we wrapped up the financial year, local agents were reporting unprecedented interest, especially in the sweet spot of $500,000 to $700,000 homes, which are experiencing fierce competition. I've heard stories of buyers lining up for inspections and making offers quickly, and that's been happening with myself with my listings. So they don't miss out. It's the kind of market where if you blink, you might lose the house you wanted. Why this frenzy? Well, a few reasons. Let's break down the key drivers fueling the surge in our residential market. There are more buyers than houses. Plain and simple. Not many people are selling, so each decent home has multiple folks vying for it. Fewer listings means less choice and more competition for what's available. Buyers are acting faster. Buyers aren't mucking around. Blink and you'll miss it. People are acting quickly to secure quality homes as soon as they come up. There's a sense that if you don't jump on it, someone else will. So essentially, if you are a buyer, get into it, make the decision quickly. Interest rates easing. After the interest rate hikes of 22, 23, we finally caught a break, and recent interest rate cuts gave buyers a confidence boost. With borrowing a tad cheaper, more folks are jumping in, knowing they can afford a bit more than last year. There's the lifestyle and affordability here in Bundaberg. So Bundy offers an awesome lifestyle at a lower cost compared to the big cities. More people are figuring that out. Our town's affordability and laid-back coastal life are attracting families, retirees, and remote workers escaping pricey capitals. I mean, who wouldn't want to swap traffic jams for a quick trip to Bargara Beach? All these factors combined have turned the first half of 2025 into a seller's paradise. Homes are moving faster and for higher prices than this time last year. Just to throw in some numbers, the median house sale price in the Bundaberg region is now around the low 600s, roughly 605 to 611,000, depending on where you get your figures from. That's about 3 to 4% jump just from the last quarter, and believe it or not, roughly 15% higher than a year ago in some areas. In fact, if you zoom out a bit, it's astonishing. Bundy house prices have doubled in the last 5 years. So 5 years ago, you could snag a house for half of what it costs today. That's amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, low 600s is still way more affordable than Brisbane medians where they're hitting the seven figures. But for us, that's a big rise. For example, Bundaberg Central's median house price is about $382,000. Which is up 15% on the year, and that's Bundaberg Central. Many homes in coastal suburbs or on bigger blocks fetch well above that. Well, talk about some of those hot suburbs in a bit. On the ground, what locals and agents are noticing is that properties under the 500,000 mark are becoming rare gems. A few years back, that was the entry level. Now it's getting harder to find houses in that range because prices have crept up into the mid-500s and beyond. If you're a first home buyer, you're probably feeling the squeeze. Even units are starting to get more attention since houses have become less attainable. I've heard predictions that units and townhouses might be the next to see a surge as buyers who are priced out of the houses turn to well-located units in the Bundy area. So far, houses have outpaced units in growth, but that could shift if more people say, what a modern unit in a good spot will do me just fine. Speaking of units and rentals, The rental market is another wild story. Rents have been climbing about 8% over the past year in Bundaberg, and vacancy rates are insanely low. How low, you ask? Try 0.4%, effectively nothing available to rent. For context, anything under 2% is considered a tight rental market. At 0.4% means if a rental pops up, it's basically gone immediately. I personally know people who have struggled to find a place to rent because as soon as a listing appears, there are a dozen or more applications. This tight rental situation makes Bundy attractive to investors. Great yields here compared to Brisbane. It also means many renters are thinking maybe it's time to buy a home instead, which further fuels demand on the buyer side. It's a bit of a cycle that we're going through at the moment. To sum up the residential scene, strong demand, low supply, rising prices, and properties, especially houses, selling faster than last year. If 2024 felt a bit sluggish with all those interest rates, 2025 has been a return to form. Even before the rate cuts fully flow through, the phrase I'd use is cautious optimism, turning into full-blown confidence among buyers and sellers. Sellers are smiling, many are getting premium prices, and buyers are adapting and getting creative. Some looking at units, others expanding their search radius to make their Bundaberg dreams happen.